Assalamu alaikum. Today I wanted to talk about the original sin in Islam and why it is pride and not eating from the forbidden tree as it is in Christianity. And I will also tell you how that relates to the current events in the world, so please bear with me for the next few minutes. First of all, as we know, in Christianity, the original sin is eating from the tree. However, in Islam, there is the sin of eating from the tree. It's mentioned in the Quran. However, it was very easily and very quickly forgiven by God when Adam repented. However, before this sin, there was another sin by Iblis, as the Quran names him. He's the devil, Satan, the father of the devils, basically. Iblis' sin was pride. He said, again, as the Quran relates the story, I am better than him, than Adam, because you created Adam from mud and you created me from fire. And that sin was never forgiven, by the way. Iblis, or the devil, deserved God's curse forever. When he mentioned that, I am better than him, God said, you are cursed. My curse is upon you until the day of judgment. Again, Adam's sin, which is really the root cause of that sin, is desire, weakness, human weakness. These sins are very easily forgiven by Allah. You repent, that's it, Allah forgives it right away. So why is that? Why is pride is the original sin in the Quran and not eating from the forbidden tree? And why pride was not forgiven, was cursed, and eating from the tree was quickly forgiven by Allah? So obviously the reason is because of the scale of harm that is caused by one versus the other. For example, sins caused by weakness, desire, sensuality, all these sins in religion, their harm is limited to the person that commits them. However, the harm that is caused by pride usually impacts others. And when there is harm that you cause to others, that's when you are crossing the red line. So for example, in the story of Iblis in the Quran, Iblis said, I am better than him. He was cursed, and then he dedicated his life, this entity, evil entity, dedicated his life to destroying the lives of millions of human beings out of pride. So now if you think about maybe the majority or most of the large-scale disasters and evil that took place in the world, you'll find that pride is at the root cause of it. So just think about some examples. The Holocaust couldn't have happened without pride. Hitler and the Nazis, they thought that they were better than the Jews, and that was the only way for them to kill them and to target them the way they did. European colonization, they thought they were better than the Indians and the Africans. And that's why they justified for themselves to go out and steal their wealth and kill them and so on. The early Europeans that kidnapped slaves from Africa to take them to the New World and kill some of the Native Americans, they did it because of pride. They thought that they were better than these people. ISIS, whatever crime they committed, it is out of pride. They thought that they were better than the ones they killed because these people are the infidels, that therefore we are better than them, and therefore we can kill them and do whatever we want. And now what we are witnessing in Gaza, it's the same thing. It's the same evil. Israeli army or government, whoever supports them, they believe that they are better than the Palestinian children and women, and that's why it's okay to kill them. So pride also is followed by curse. Iblis, the devil, was cursed by God because of his pride. God let him do his damage. However, the curse is there. Same thing. Pride will always cause a curse. Like, for example, even the story of the children of Israel in the Quran, when Pharaoh chased them and tried to kill them and did all sorts of things to the children of Israel back then with the Prophet Musa alayhi salam, Moses, Allah also said that Pharaoh and his people, his soldiers, they are cursed as well. Because what they did to the children of Israel back then was also because of pride. They thought they were better than these, weak Jews, so they killed them. So they are cursed. Again, in the Quran mentions that clearly. So in reality, crimes caused or committed because of pride, they will always be followed by a curse. And you can see it sometimes in different ways. For example, ISIS, just the name ISIS now, it's cursed, because when you think of ISIS, you think of crimes and murders and terrorism. When you think of the Nazis, it's a bad word now, right? You're a Nazi, that means you're a really bad person, willing to kill and so on. So it's becoming a curse because of the crimes committed. So now Israel also is definitely is gonna get that curses as well, because of what's happening now. Because all the red lines morally are being crossed and just neglected. So you see it now, because even though after the events happened by Hamas, there were some support, but now a lot of people, when they saw the amount of just killing and happening by the Israeli army, which exceeded anything you could have imagined, now people are actually, a bad name will start to be stuck to Israel. Like we saw some, now Israel being Israel, meaning being, your home being stolen or something. So I believe the curses is gonna come also. It started, it's gonna continue, and because of what they're doing now, they're gonna cause this curse to continue upon them. And any large-scale crimes committed by pride, because of pride, will have this curse, as just as the Nazis, as Pharaoh, as ISIS. Now it's Israel. So if you don't want that curse to happen to you, if you want your name to be clean, just don't have pride. Don't commit crimes out of pride.